Edinburgh Fringe 2024 Day 2 is in the books. Yesterday was an interesting day. Very rainy, very cold first and foremost. I've not really packed for that. I've not really got the equipment for it, so I'm probably going to have to go out and do a little bit of shopping, drive my costs up even more on this trip, but it's what you got to do, I suppose. I started off back at an Asian occasion like I did yesterday. This time slightly different crowds, demographic wise. I played mainly the same material, but I thought I'd change it up a little bit. I like to change up my material, and it went really well. So, exit flyer them on the way out, which is when they're leaving the venue. You know, you talk to them and say, "Listen, why don't you come and see my show?" And a few showed interest, but we'll get to that later on. Then I went to another compilation show at Brewdog on Lothian Road. That was ran by Tom Shaw, who I know from Manchester. He's a good lad. He's been doing comedy for years, and I've known him since I started. He's an alternative act, and I've always really enjoyed watching his stuff, because his stuff, I watch it and I feel like I don't understand the process of how he came up with it. Does that make sense? So like, sometimes a lot of the times you see stand-up comedians and you go, yeah, I see how you've made that joke. But a lot of times I watch Tom's stuff and I'm like, I don't know how you came to this, but it's absolutely brilliant. So he got me on. We went no microphone for that gig, which I found really interesting. I actually enjoyed that. Just being able to talk both hands free, used it as a bit of a presentation, a bit of a taster menu for my show. Again, people seem to enjoy it. Plugged my show at the end of it, and then I went to my solo show. And I had no audience. I had no audience up until about half an hour before the show. And then I talked a girl from Canada in off the street. She was looking for a show, which was fantastic, so I was able to sell it on mine. Then there was a lad from Brighton who he's performing a show about Romeo and Juliet if Romeo had never died but became a drag queen. So that was interesting. We had a little bit of a chat about that during my show. And then got a few other people in as well. Then Rahul Somia, who runs the Asian occasion, he's a mate of mine. We've known each other for years now, so he came to support me as well. He came to see the show. So numbers wise for my solo show was a bit less than the day before financially. I made about a quarter of what I need to be making to break even. But again, I'm not really too much focused on the financial side of things, but I do want to talk about it. I want to be open about it, because I feel like people come to the Edinburgh Fringe and they're not really as open as they can be with people. And as an outsider looking in, sorry, my eyes watering right now. It's not because I'm trying to do some emotional blackmail thing about my show. It's because the sun is right there. As you can see, like how bright my hand is there. Then I move it back. You see that there? Yeah, so the sun's like shining right at my eyes right now. But so I want to be very open about the finances of the show, because people come to Edinburgh Fringe, and if you want to come, you kind of need to have realistic expectations of how things are going to go. Bear in mind, I have not spent any money on flyers yet. I've not spent money on flyers, people to advertise the show, but I did spend £50 yesterday on advertising revenue on advertising on Instagram. So £50 now on there, £5 a day for the next 10 days. Let's see what that happens. Hopefully that starts to generate me a little bit of an audience. Even if it's just like a couple people per day, it'll pay for itself in that sense. So but again, it's just an extra cost, £50 there gone. One thing that did happen yesterday is there's a Conradine, and he runs a Twitter account called Bearded Genius, and I've known about him for years because he tweets about a lot of football related stuff. He's from the South Asian community. He's a Muslim, and he's from the Manchester area, and he talks a lot about Manchester United. So a lot of my friends retweet a lot of his stuff because they're Manchester United fans. But he tweeted last night in support of my show. You know, he tweeted out a little thing, and he's got like 170,000 followers on Twitter. So that felt like a really big thing for me, because probably more people now know about my show just from him tweeting it than from everything that I've done individually, because I've got, what, if you count all my followers everywhere, probably about 50,000, and then I've put my stuff online. I've been talking to people on the street, so maybe 55,000 people know about it maximum, but I would say way lower than that. But yeah, he tweeted it out, like I think 30,000 people saw it overnight. even though he tweeted it at a late time, people still saw it. So that was great for me. That was great publicity for me, especially because when people come to Edinburgh, they have like industry support. They spend a lot of money on PR, but I have no industry support. The industry, they aren't choosing to back me. Now that's not on them. That's, you know, I guess that's on me. That's just I'm maybe not on their radar. But again, it doesn't help me if I'm not on their radar. How do you even get on their radar, right? I'm here to do a show, so if that doesn't get on their radar, I don't know how to do it, right? But yeah, that was hopefully something that's going to help me going forward. But I really appreciate it, even if that leads to nobody doing it, the fact that somebody would go out of their way to publicly say, listen, I think you should go to this show. I think it really meant a lot to me that when I saw that, so very, very chuffed with that, to use a localism. Beyond that, the UK seems to be burning right now. Literally, there's uneducated fools going up and down the country, bricking windows, ruining cars, looting shops, and why? It's just an excuse for violence. It's terrible. But I guess that's what I'm not here to talk. I'm not here to talk to you about that. I'm a comedian. I'm not an activist. I will use my platform as much as I can to unify people and bring people together, because that's what my show's about at the end of the day. UKIP's nightmare is to show that multiculturalism does work. I'm as multicultural as they come. Pakistani dad, Polish mum, born in England. I support the England football team. I support the Pakistan cricket team. I love to see Poland do well at the same time. Multiculturalism does work, and I want to be a shining example of that. And I treat that very, very seriously, and that's why my show itself tries to reflect that as much as possible. But yeah, day number 3. I've only got one other gig in the books today besides my own, so looking forward to going out and doing that. But yeah, thanks for watching.